Hello, Africa. It's good to see you again. Another beautiful Tuesday evening. This is the African Women's Voices show on ETV Ghana that comes to you every Tuesday at 4 p.m. with repeats on Saturday at 12 noon. Well, you're welcome from Tanzania. The beautiful piece you are watching right now is titled Superwoman. You could check it out and enjoy it the more. All those ladies you've seen in the video are all stars from Tanzania. So get yourself acquainted with Tanzanian music because they are really good. I was dancing my heart out. Well, last week we had a very exciting time about giving back to society, and still in our health month, because that's what it's all about in this month of May at GMA, we are talking about something really particular about our health. It's a topic that, yes, you hear about all the time, but new things keep happening around it, and we want to keep you updated around issues concerning the very topic we're going to be giving out to you today. But first, this is our information to you around May, which is the Health and Sanitation Month within the GMA group. So on YFM, Happy FM and ETV Ghana, when you tune in every day, we will give you information on the best waste management practices for homes and businesses. Health tips, diet tips, personal tips, and latest updates on the coronavirus. We'll also bust some health myths and make you take the best decisions to ensure you live a healthy and clean life in a clean environment. If you would like to partner our Health and Sanitation Month, even though we are in the last week, we still have a very good package for you. You're not late at all. Visit the ETV Ghana premises or call us on 020-2222-059 or 02428-84571 or 0244-942378. And of course, some very wonderful companies have partnered us from the beginning of May, and we want to really acknowledge them. They are Dragnet, Susie Hebel, Papa's Pizza, Moppes, Lovelier. Oh, ETV Ghana is your world of quality entertainment. And also a message from Voltic to you. Voltic is one of our sponsors, and it's saying that you should never compromise. Always segregate and recycle your post-consumer plastics. Wondering where to turn? Look out for the special Voltic bins at Vantage Points and drop off your empty plastic bottles. Be the champion. Segregate your waste. Enjoy, twist, recycle. Voltic naturally. I am being clothed by Buratex Clothing, and you can locate her at the Airport West area, just around Yahoo Clinic at the railway line. If you look on your right-hand side, you will see her very beautiful signboard and lots of gorgeous wares on the mannequins. That's Buratex Clothing at the Airport West area. Her name is Sister Mary. If you get to her, just tell her that you heard about her company or her product on the ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show, and she's going to give you something really wonderful. It doesn't matter what the occasion is, she has you sorted, okay? All right, so I'm going to be linking you right now to the 60 seconds update, and when we return, I will be introducing you to our very special guest who will be delving into a very important aspect of our health. Do stay tuned. We will be right back.
Voltic Ghana Limited and Institute of Applied Science and Technology has supported the COVID-19 fights with 536 packs of Voltic mineral water. Ms. Joyce Ahiadome and Na Aikindle Amufa, PR and communications executives who presented the items on behalf of the company, said the donation was contribution from all the staff towards the fight against COVID-19. Ms. Ahiadome said every month the staff are given packs of water to send home, but since April, they have decided to donate their packages to the staff of Noguchi to support the fight. The team was led by Ms. Rodalyn Nikwe, Assistant Registrar to Institute of Applied Science and Technology. The Honorable Minister of Information and Communication and Chief Government Spokesperson in Zambia, Honorable Dora Silia, announced her COVID-19 status in a video post on her Twitter page. Ms. Silia said that she had been very involved in the last 3 months in the communication and fight against the coronavirus pandemic with her colleagues, and that even after taking all precautions, she still tested positive and immediately went into self-isolation. She further said that she is at the moment asymptomatic and is not showing any symptoms of feeling ill despite being positive. She also said she has given all the persons to the medical authorities in relation to all persons she has come in contact with within the last 10 days. I Never Knew I'd Have a Perfect Man by Kalsum Sinari. Kalsum Sinari has celebrated her husband Anthony Bafo on his birthday. Today marks the birthday of the legendary Black Stars player, and his wife has taken to social media to celebrate him. In the message, she added, "Never in a million years did I think I will be this happy to have a perfect man standing behind me. You are the father every kid would love." The video that came out with the birthday wishing was a collection of their family and beautiful times together. I am not a nympho, KP Boateng's wife. Kevin Prince Boateng's stunning wife admitted she regrets opening up about their sex life after claiming it was the reason why the ex-Tottenham player was injured. Melissa Sata Boateng, 24, stunned fans in 2012 when she insisted that her husband was sidelined due to them having sex 7 to 10 times a week. In an interview with Gazzetta dello Sport, Melissa broke her silence over the claims she made 8 years ago and admitted that she was surprised by the whirlwind she ended up in, and also stated that just because we have sex so often doesn't make me a nymphomaniac.
And you are welcome back. If you just join us, this is the ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show, the show that tackles with issues pertaining to women as we contribute to national development and society. Okay, we are going to be discussing the main reason why we are here this evening. I mentioned earlier that we treated giving back to society, but that was actually 2 weeks ago. We did domestic violence last week, and this week we are having to have a look at our health, because it's our health month here in the GMA group. And we are going to be discussing something that is very familiar, and that is hypertension. But there are some facts around hypertension now that some of us may not know, and we want to reveal to you. And that's the fact that hypertension is not really for the old people. Hypertension has really changed the way it comes to people, and we're going to be delving into it. And to help us discuss that is somebody who is very, very passionate about the topic around hypertension, because she made a discovery very early in her life, and she's going to be sharing that story with us. You're very welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So please introduce yourself to the audience. They'd like to meet you.
My name is Twumasi Ankrah. I'm a nurse and the founder for Life from 30, and also the country coordinator for May Measurement Month.
Wow, you're very welcome again.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so before we go into life, after 30, which is what you're campaigning for right now, whenever people hear about hypertension, they just feel like, okay, I'm still very young, I don't care. I think when I get old, I'll begin to get conscious about, what I eat and my weight and everything, because I know that hypertension is something that happens to a lot of old people. So let me enjoy my prime now and not think about hypertension. What would you say about this?
Hypertension is the #1 contributing factor to global death, and age is no barrier when it comes to hypertension. So from age 18, we entreat every individual to be checking their BP.
18?
Yeah, from age 18.
Wow.
Research shows that now it's no more the adult's condition. Most young adults are developing high blood pressure. And the sad thing is that about half of these people do not know that they are hypertensive. And about half of those who do not know they are hypertensive do not also know that, are not also on medication. And about half of that number too who knows they are hypertensive are not taking their medications religiously.
As they should.
Yeah.
And would you think that because they're not taking it religiously because maybe they feel that it's going to maybe correct itself, in a matter of time? We hear most of the time that if you have to take BP medication, it's for life. And probably that is an uncomfortable situation for some people. So they feel that, okay, if I take it, and I keep breaking it, maybe it will correct by itself. Does it happen like that?
Yeah, most of the patients or the people I come across with think that they can do away with the high BP with lifestyle, of which is somehow true. But the fact of the matter is it depends on the level in which your BP is. So we advise that even though you are like adjusting with your lifestyle or you are trying to live a healthy life, you should also make sure that you are checking your BP regularly. And I also feel it's denial. As it happened to me, they find it difficult to accept that a young person at their age or at that age should develop hypertension. So they find it difficult to accept it.
Yeah. So that's why maybe they take the medication for certain times and then they just say, okay, I think by now I'm okay, so I don't want it. When they begin to feel the symptoms again, then they go back to the medication. So fact check. BP is no longer for the old people as we used to think, and she's advising that from the age of 18, you need to begin to check your BP. And if you've been placed on your medication, do take them as you should. Do not break them and then go back to them again. That's not the best thing to do. All right, so let's find out what are the symptoms of this BP.
Okay.
Because at least most of us may know that BP has to do with the blood pressure, it going up and all of that. We want to know what actually causes, people's pressure going up. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll take it from the risk factors or the causes.
Okay.
And research shows that it has no known cause, but there are risk factors or things that puts one at risk developing hypertension. First is age, as I already spoke about. As you age, your BP increases. So if you are 18 years and your BP is 120/80, by the time you get to 30, 35, it will automatically go up. That's nature. The way the blood vessels used to work is not the same way it will work when you are aging. Okay. Age is a contributing factor. Family history. If my great-great-grandfather is hypertensive or was hypertensive, and I do not take care of myself well, I can also develop hypertension.
Develop it as well, okay.
Obesity is another contributing factor. That is gaining too much weight. If your BMI is above 29 or 30 going, you are at risk developing hypertension. Another contributing factor is high intake of fatty diets. Some people eat junk food. Anything fatty, they just eat.
Do you blame us? That's where we find ourselves now, because we have to work, for a very long time. We leave the house so early. The traffic situation is not friendly, so you don't get to take your breakfast. You get to the office, you begin to work, and by the time you know it, okay, it's like 10 or 11, and you want to grab the quickest thing that you can, get to, and that's the junk food.
I'm thinking the quickest will be carrots.
Carrots?
Yeah.
Seriously speaking, do we think carrots when we...
Or apple. If
Apples.
You want the quick one, then it's the apples and the carrots. I think it's a choice, but we can do better.
We go quickly for bread. That's what we do. And that's a lot of carbohydrate and starch, which is not good for us. So it means that we have to begin to reorient ourselves again and think of fruits and vegetables. So if we can't even eat them very early, just package them and then keep them by your side. Once you begin to feel hungry, just munch on those vegetables or fruits, and you're on your way to a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And high intake of salty diets. Some people take a lot of salt at a particular time and also throughout the day. Everything they eat, they have to add extra salt to it. It's also a contributing factor.
Well, I think a lot of us may be having a lot of challenge with this salt, because sometimes we may not really add salt to our food, but a lot of things that we use in preparing our meals these days contain a lot of salt. We like Kobe, we like kakuro, we like what again? Salted beef, and we use all of these things in preparing a particular dish. So let's say, for instance, you eat your ntroba froy, then you have to put all of that in it. Then in the evening, you eat abenkwan, for instance. And in the abenkwan, you have all of this again, and we want to feel the taste, that salty taste that comes from all these things. So you find us having to eat a lot of salt, and it's hard.
It's very easy to adjust or to reduce the salt that you add to your meals.
Okay,
For
tell us.
instance, if you are adding the kobe and the kako and the momone, salted beef and other things to the meal, then it means that you are not supposed to add salt in the meal, so that at least it will balance
A little bit.
But some people will use the salted fish and at the same time put salt in the food. If you do that, you are putting too much salt in the system, which can put your life at risk. It will affect your BP. It can also affect your kidneys. Assuming the body is supposed to excrete, let's say, 10 grams of salt, or let's say 2 grams of salt the whole day, and you've consumed more than 2 grams, let's say 8 grams of salt or 10 grams of salt, it means the kidneys are supposed to work or overwork to try as much as possible to excrete the rest of the salt in the blood outside the body. Whilst it's overworking, it will one day break down.
Okay.
When the remaining salt is in the blood, it will draw more fluid into the blood vessels, increasing your BP, putting you at risk of these hypertension complications. And these are very dangerous. So we should try as much as possible. When you are taking the salt, we should think about anything that you are taking, think of the benefits. And think of the disadvantage. What will happen to me if I consume more of fat? What will happen to me if I should consume more of protein diet? You know, there should be a balance.
This is really interesting, because the reason why I'm asking this question is because our traditional parents and those of us who are living in the rural areas, we eat these things. We eat a lot of momoni, kobe, kakro, and all of that with the salted beef. But we do not really hear, you know, of such issues around there. But here in the urban areas, we get to find lots of people having to go through this situation. What then is the problem?
Okay, so I think there are so many factors that comes into that. What they were doing, they were exercising. Trust me, they could walk for miles during those times to go to farm. They were also eating fresh products. The sad thing about us is that due to Western life adaptation and modernization, we end up not doing the things that they were doing. And even though they were eating the momone, hardly will you taste the food and it's salty. But for now, a lot of people take in canned foods or canned product that contains salt. And apart from that, we always go in for these spices that has MSG in it and preservatives. And they in turn contain salts. So in the long run, they were not adding those things to their products, their food, and their cooking. They like the momone and the kobe, but they were not adding. Somebody will fry egg and still put some spices that contains MSG in it. And they are very harmful to our health.
Okay,
with
so
the salt, we are not saying you should stop, but you should take in moderation.
In moderation. Okay, so for those of us who probably are arguing at home right now, oh, what are you guys talking about? We've been eating all of these things in the past. What's this? Okay, she's explained it. The thing is that those of them who've been taking all these foods were very cautious, and they actually had a very good lifestyle of exercise, and they were very active, which is not what a lot of us are doing today. Yes, we are active, having to work behind our desks, but even while we are working behind our desks, we hardly move around. We can sit behind our desks, behind the laptops for close to 3 or 4 hours without even having to exercise. And that's the reason why some of these things are happening to us. So we need to make a change. We will continue the conversation right after this break. We'll be right back. And our health tip was talking about how to balance what you have to eat to remain healthy. So certain people will say that, okay, since I want to live a healthy lifestyle, I'm going to, forego all of these. We're not saying you should forego it. The right way to do it is to find a balance and have a blend and mix it all up. They are all good to the body, but if consumed excessively, that's when you begin to have your problems. So we were talking about the risk factors around hypertension. We're going back for her to continue. So tell us, what again is a risk factor when it comes to hypertension?
Smoking.
Smoking?
Yeah.
Okay. We were just talking about salt. So what salts do we have in smoke that's also going to affect us?
The fact is that it's not just salt in the products that causes hypertension.
Okay.
When we say the risk factors, it means there are plenty
There
of
are
it.
a lot of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So salt is on its own, smoking is on its own. Research shows that people who smoke get high blood pressure. Yeah, and also people who
And
take
I just want to understand how this works, because
Okay.
with salt, we know that, okay, salt constricts,
Okay.
the vessels.
Equally,
so how does
there are
smoke...
products in the tobacco or the smoke that constrict the blood vessels, then
Okay.
preventing the free flow of blood, increasing the blood pressure of every individual.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
high intake of alcohol. People who consume more than 2 to 3 bottles of alcohol per day are at risk developing hypertension.
Okay.
And it also goes for the same explanation. That is constricting the blood vessels, impeding the flow of blood, increasing the blood pressure.
Okay. Wow.
And the last thing that I'm so passionate about is pregnancy. Some people may be born without hypertension, but when they get pregnant, then they see their BP increasing. Whilst in actual fact, pregnancy usually lowers the BP. But at the 20th week, some people develop high blood pressure.
Oh, wow. I think this is really another part that we really want to talk about, since this is about women and how we contribute to national development. And if we are healthy, the society will be healthy. So pregnancy is a very important aspect of a woman's life, and most of us will go through it. Most of us have already gone through it. If you've gone through it and you've finished your childbirth, well, thank God. Those who are on the way to, you need to know about this. BP can develop in pregnancy, even if you were not born with it. Okay, so this is the point where we would like you to share your story, because as a woman, we would like to be able to relate to your story and see how your story can, change the life of somebody who is watching us right now. Okay. And this is to say that it's very important to be having antenatal visits, right?
Yeah,
because
very, very necessary.
In modern times now, some of us feel like there's no need for the antenatal visits. I feel okay, I have supplements I'm going to take, so I don't need it. But part of what they check during the visit is your BP.
Yeah.
So you get to find out if your BP is normal, if it's rising, or if it's going below what it's supposed to be. So pick yourself up and attend that antenatal class right now. And just before we even came on the show, you were saying something about new things that some hospitals have introduced.
Yeah.
People have introduced exercises now for pregnant women.
Yeah. A lot of the health facilities
are doing that now. So if you're also a hospital and you've not started it, we implore you to look into it, to help our pregnant women to also develop the interest to exercise themselves and their bodies, for a healthy baby and even for a healthy person, which they are. So let's just say, what led you into this whole story or, side of health, which is about hypertension?
Okay.
What led you there?
What really pushed me into it was when I was diagnosed of hypertension at the age of 28 years, when I was expecting my second child. I knew everything about hypertension, but I never thought it would affect me at that age. And I remember my mom was hypertensive, but still, I never thought of getting hypertension at that early age.
Yeah, you felt like, okay, maybe when you advance in age, then you could get it.
So I was at work, pregnant, and doing my usual thing, and I started feeling restless. So I felt I was hungry. I consumed a lot of food at that moment, but still I was restless. Because of the little knowledge or the knowledge I have about hypertension, I decided to check my BP, and it was above 150/90. So I was experiencing severe headache.
It was above 150/90, and at that age, you're supposed to have like 120/80.
Yeah, 120/80. Usually pregnancy when one is pregnant, the BP is usually low, like
Okay.
120, 80, 110, 70, thereabouts. But at that time, I've exceeded 140, 90, which is the number for to diagnose somebody of hypertension when it's being checked severally. So then I called my doctor and it was like I should rest for a while. I rested and it was still high. They had to perform an emergency cesarean session just to save me because at that time I was the priority.
Wow.
And my baby was barely 8 months. So
Oh.
fortunately, we were both saved. But the problem was after delivery, I was supposed to continue with the antihypertensive medication.
Okay.
And that was when the whole trouble began. I just
Wow.
didn't want to take the medication.
Oh.
I was denying it. I just didn't want to accept it. Like a young girl like me, why should I be taking hypertensive medication
Medicines.
and be taking it for Christ? Who knows? Do you get it?
I can really relate to what you were talking about. So it means that you felt that, okay, the pregnancy probably induced it, and
Yeah.
now baby has been saved, you're safe, so there's no need for the medication. So how did you get, what did you do when you stopped? What happened to
I
you?
stopped, and the funniest thing was that anytime I go for postnatal and I see my colleagues there, I'll just tell them I've checked my BP and it's 120/80. And they will also document, thinking that I'm a nurse. But what really happened was, afterwards, I think about a year, I collapsed at work and a colleague took me to the emergency. And then the doctor realized that my BP was extremely high. It was above
Wow.
190.
So within the 1 year, when you were not taking your medication because you were living in denial, what was happening to you?
I was living a normal life.
You were very normal.
Yeah, I was living a normal life. I just didn't want to even check to know what the reading was.
But were you having like persistent headaches? Were you having palpitations?
It comes, but I ignored them all because I just didn't want to accept that the hypertension still existed. So I was living a normal life. So I
Wow.
collapsed and the doctor spoke to me that the wife too had PIH, pregnancy-induced hypertension, and she was also battling with accepting it. If I don't take care, I will die, blah, blah, blah. Then I remember he really spoke to me thoroughly. And then I decided that he told me to start with my weight because at that time I was 103 kg.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Yeah. So I started with the exercising, and then I felt like if a nurse like me, I knew everything about hypertension, and I nearly died because of poor adherence to my antihypertensive medication. What about the woman selling at Mokola? What about the granite seller who doesn't have any knowledge? Then let me just put things together and start educating people and creating awareness.
Wow, I must congratulate you because you are now beginning to affect other people's lives. You just don't want to be the only one to know about this. You want people not to live in denial because this seems to be what happens to a lot of young people. They just deny the fact that it's possible at all. Okay, so in your journey to get people educated around, you know, hypertension based on your experience, how was it? I remember you were telling me a story about how you even had to talk to people in a car. You had to become a driver.
Yeah, I was a Uber driver then. I heard a lot about Uber, and I was like, I needed money to organize a national screening for people, like to organize several screening at different regions, but I didn't have the money. So I decided that, oh, let me join Uber since they said it's lucrative so that I can generate money to do this campaign and creating of awareness. But when I got myself into Uber, I realized that no, the money wasn't so much, and I could actually use Uber to create the awareness. That I wanted to. So I decided any patient, any passenger that I picked or I take on board, I start educating them, and I had my BP machine inside, and I would just check their BP when they're about to get down.
This is interesting. How did they feel? Did they accept what you were doing?
They were amazed. First, a female driving Uber.
Yes.
They were surprised, and immediately they get in. I start with the education. I made them know. I was very brief. I made them know the number that is normal and that is not normal, and also what brings about it, and the prevention, because I didn't want to bore them. You know, they were young. Most of them were young. More than 50 people that I screened were young. I
Okay,
was
so
able.
just sorry to cut in here. For those of us who may just be joining, who did not hear what you said was normal, just say it again, just so that they understand and follow through.
120, 80 millimeters of mercury is normal. 140, 90, and it has been checked for more than 3 consecutive times.
Okay.
It's abnormal. Upwards is abnormal. So 140, 90, 150, 90, 160, 100, upwards, all going is abnormal.
It's abnormal. Okay. All right. So were there challenges? Did people report you to Uber? You know, people have to rate you or say stuff about their driver with the Uber kind of service. What kind of feedback, you know, was being given? Were people talking about this education you were giving to them in the Uber car? Did you get problems?
No, I didn't face any challenge when it comes to me educating them. There are times that some people, when you start educating them, they will be like, I'm too young for this education, it's for the adults. And I'll prove to them that it's not for adults, because I was diagnosed of hypertension at the age of 28. And as a matter of fact, most people were amazed. They were happy about it. I remember so many of them rated me 5-star.
5-star.
And it was so a nice experience. Although it was tiring, but when I drive for a while, then I rest, then I move on. I was able to screen more than 100 people for the period of 3 months. Yeah.
Through the driving, you were able to screen about 100 people.
Yes, and educate more than 100 people.
Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah. And I must say, that's wow. For you to put in your time and your effort, despite the challenges and how some people may not really want to receive you so well in the Uber car, but you found a way.
Yeah.
So outside Uber, you're no longer driving the car anymore.
No. I did it for that period.
For that period. So what's happening with you right now?
Okay. So what's happened, what's going on now is that in the month of May, which is Hypertension Month, we try as much as possible to create awareness on hypertension. This year, because of COVID-19, we couldn't do the May Measurements Month, which is a global hypertension awareness campaign.
Okay.
So then I decided I just didn't want to sit down for May to go without any campaign. So I initiated the Check It Yourself campaign.
Okay.
And it's a challenge, very interesting.
Tell us about it, so that we all begin to check.
That every individual is supposed to get him or herself a BP machine. That you check your BP. We have a WhatsApp platform that you send your number, your recorded BP there every day. If your BP is high, we will send you message behind, educate you, and tell you about how you can get a low BP. And at the end of the week, we are doing it from the 17th of May to the 17th of June. Okay. So every week you send your BP readings. On the 5th day, which is usually Thursdays, you do a video of how you checked your BP yourself. And at the end of the week, that's on the Saturday, we give an award to the one who did it right and who sent the BP regularly. Our age bracket is from 18 to 40 years. Because with all the screenings we've been organizing in Ghana, the results that comes out is like most of the young guys and the young females have high blood pressure. So we want to, for the adults, they know that they are hypertensive. So they periodically go to the clinics for refill of their medication. But the young people, we just don't want to accept that hypertension can affect us at that age. So we hardly check our BPs. We hardly know our status, and we hardly do the right thing. That will help our health.
Interesting. So do you have some kind of statistics backing what you're saying?
Yes.
What statistics do you have around this?
The May Measurements Month, which is organized by the International Society of Hypertension, if you go on the page, you will see all the statistics from the 92 countries. You see Ghana stats, you will see all the other country stats. I have all the statistics backing it.
Interesting. So with Check It Yourself, you just need to get yourself a BP machine. Is this something that's expensive?
It's not expensive. I always tell people that it's advisable for every home to get a BP machine, because if you can buy a mobile phone, you can easily buy it. It's on the market. Just make sure that it is validated or approved by the standard board. You can get some sell it 200 Ghana cedi. You can get 250 Ghana cedi, depending on the calf size. The bigger your calf, your arm, the bigger the calf size. Oh. And that increases the prices.
Okay, I get it now. So we just need to get the BP machine at home,
Yeah.
and then we will join your WhatsApp platform.
Yeah.
And then we would always, you know, give you information about what it is that we've read, you know, from our BP readings.
Yes.
So that means on Monday I send it, on Tuesday I send
it. Wednesday,
Wednesday,
you
just
send
like
it.
that.
Thursday you send it. On the Thursday you send it and also do a video how you checked it, because if you don't check it well, it will affect your BP reading. I remember we started this, we've ended the first week. Someone sent hers and she was talking and checking at the same time. And she sent the video there. So I had to send her a message that when we are checking the BP, we don't talk. Because when you talk, it will affect the reading.
It will affect the reading.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there a particular time in the day that you need to do this? Like maybe early in the
It's
morning?
from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
From 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So you could just do it.
Yeah, you can do it.
But
Even
just don't talk when you're checking it.
No, you are not supposed to talk. You are not supposed to cross your leg. You are not supposed to bend. You are supposed to sit comfortably.
Sit upright?
With your back upright. Then with your calf on it. The size of the calf also counts. If the calf is too small, you feel some discomfort and it will affect the reading. If it's too big, it will also affect the reading. So there are some rules and regulations when it comes to checking your BP, and we have all those on the platform.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to be coming back to you, but let me just read some LPMs from our sponsors. Okay, so it's Mask Up time here in Ghana and across the world. And something really interesting is going to be happening to anybody who gets to Mask Up, because there's a challenge that GMA Broadcasting Company is organizing. It's masking up and is the new normal at home, in our offices and in our towns. So are you ready for the Mask Up challenge? Do you believe your mask is up to style? Then simply mask up. Share a picture of yourself and tag our social media handles with the hashtag #MaskUpWithGMABC. From 25th May to 31st May 2020, 2 lucky people stand a chance of winning amazing prizes every day. It really could be you, so mask up right, okay? Remember, terms and conditions will apply. GMABC Mask Up campaign is supported by Belaqua Mineral Water, Casman Clothing, and Blue Skies Ghana. So mask up and stand a chance to win very amazing prizes. We are going to be taking our inspirational quote very soon. But before we do that, I'd like to let you know that GBA is coming. So for those of us who don't know what GBA is, it's the Ghana Beverage Awards. You know, this award ceremony that really celebrates our beverage companies. You see, Voltic is here with us. It's an important beverage in our lives. And it's time to recognize and reward those outstanding companies in the beverage industry. And this is going to be happening virtually on Saturday, 13th June 2020, and the time will be 6 p.m. There's going to be a live broadcast on ETV Ghana and GBA Facebook Live. So be part of excellence from the comfort of your home as we find out who wins in the following categories: international spirit, international liquor, beer, water, bitters, new beverage, fruit, drink or liquor of the year, amongst others. And who takes home the most coveted product of the year award? We look forward to that. Ghana Beverage Awards is in partnership with Ghana Tourism Authority, Food and Beverage Association of Ghana, Consumer Protection Agency, Food Research Institute, and Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Perception Management International, Sunseeker Stores, and our media partners. Ghana Beverage Awards, inspiring excellence in Ghana's beverage industry. So let's take that inspirational quote. We will be right back. You're welcome back, and the phone lines have been opened. If you have any question around our conversation or something you'd like to find out around hypertension, this is your chance to ask that question. So we are waiting for you to give us that call. While we wait for you to give that call, we have an information here from ETV Ghana. Every Sunday at 8 p.m., we have an exciting and yet another heart-wrenching Indian telenovela. You know the title? Well, the commercial has been rolling for some time now, but let me remind you, that's Ye Terry Gallian. That's our latest telenovela from India that is showing every Sunday at 8 p.m. And the story is around Shan and Puchki. They are childhood friends who grew up together in a brothel where their mothers worked. They got separated and grew apart. Years go by and Shan later meets Asmita, a beautiful lady who he grows to love, only to discover that she is Puchki, his childhood friend. Fate works against them and Shan gets married to Nandini, and Asmita is engaged to someone else. The love they feel for each other leads to Shan being framed for a crime he did not commit. He runs away with Asmita. What will happen when Nandini finds out that her husband Shan has a child with Asmita? Watch out and find out what happens to Shan and Asmita on your favorite telenovela, Ye Terry Gallian, every Sunday at 8 p.m. on ETV Ghana. And you can find us on GoTV on channel 177 and 814. ETV Ghana, your world of quality entertainment. And Yamvita keeps giving our ladies very beautiful packages. I have a very beautiful package here that I'm going to be presenting to our guest here. Yamvita says that they want to say they appreciate your effort in everything you're doing around hypertension. And they want to say again that you should, continue to do what you're doing. Wow. I also have another presentation for you from Voltic. Voltic says that they want to keep you hydrated, even as you talk about whatever it is that you're doing around hypertension. They want to support you every step of the way by keeping you hydrated, especially in this COVID times. I'm going to that presentation at the end of the show. Right now, let's see whether we have a caller on the line, and then we continue. Okay, all right. So it's still jammed, and it's I guess somebody has to get through very soon to talk about what he or she has, concerning hypertension. So in our conversation, you were saying something about people having to sit upright, and then not having to shake themselves when they are finding out about their status. Do they have to eat?
Yeah, you can eat.
Okay.
But you are not supposed to involve yourself in any strenuous activity. Like 10 to 15 minutes before check-in. You need to rest for at least 5 to 10 minutes before check-in. Like showering or like doing any hectic thing. No.
Okay.
You're supposed to rest.
Sorry, we hear that somebody has gotten through right now. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Very fine. Please, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Nuna from Tema.
Okay. Talk to us.
Yes. Okay. I'm 1 month pregnant. I've not started antenatal yet, but I was put on Bendro, and I want to ask if I could be taking the Bendro.
Okay, you were put on Vendro because that means they found out that you had a situation?
Exactly. That is BP.
Okay, all right. So she's going to respond to your question.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. When you are pregnant, from what she's saying, it means she is a known hypertensive and she is pregnant. When you are pregnant and you are a known hypertensive, it is very, very necessary for you to inform your obstetrician or the doctor who takes care of you when you are pregnant. And we have a group of medications that will control the BP whilst you are pregnant, so that it doesn't lead to complications. So if you are put on that medication and your doctor is aware that you are pregnant, you should be taking it religiously. When you run out, some days for it to get finished, you have to go back to your doctor for him to write a refill, like to write the same medication for you. Or if there is a need for him to change it, a large group of it, then he will put you on the right.
On that one. Okay. But is it the case that maybe the doctor who gave you this medication didn't know you have gotten pregnant now? So if they don't know that you've gotten pregnant, please start your antenatal, okay? So that your doctor who is taking care of the pregnancy, your gynae, will be able to know whether you should continue with that or whether they're going to change it, okay? And we wish you a safe delivery. Okay, we have another caller on the line. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, talk to us. What's your name?
Yes, my name is Obi.
And where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Nkranza.
Nkranza?
Yes.
Okay, all right. How is everybody in Nkransa?
Everybody is fine here. Everybody
Oh,
is fine here.
nice. Go ahead with your question, please.
Yes, I want to. I want your guests to clarify something. Which of the two machines is the best? In fact, we have. I think we have two machines in the market. The one that reads for you to see, and the one the doctors put in their, the nurses normally put in their ears to check your BP. Which of them is the best?
Okay, all right. So please answer his question.
Okay, we have the automated machine, BP machine, and we have the manual one. The manual one is for professional use. You need to go for training before you can use it.
So is that the one he means nurses are using?
Yeah, that's what the nurses and the doctors usually use.
Okay.
But the automated one is the one that is easily used. That one, you need a little training. I can train you for like 5 to 10 minutes. When you go by it, you can check your BP.
Okay, so that
correctly.
means that you have to wait and get the WhatsApp group number. So on that WhatsApp group number, when you join, they'll train you on how to use the automated one, and then you can begin to check your BP on a daily basis, okay? And we are hoping that God is going to be able to get you through this situation of yours. All right. Okay. So let me see if I've gotten any messages around. Okay. Somebody asked a question whether maybe because people do not want to, eat junk food, how should they eat the fruits and vegetable? So for instance, if they've gotten to work and they didn't eat early enough and they want to grab something to eat, what is there a procedure? Should they take a juice before they take the vegetable? Should they take water before the vegetable? Is there really a best way of having to take the vegetable after the long fast?
Yeah, you can take the vegetable as long as you want it, but you should make sure that if you've not eaten anything, you should be very choosy. Especially, you should reduce acidic fruits that you take in. If you are on an empty stomach and taking orange or lemon juice, it's too harsh for the lining of the stomach. So you should be very choosy when it comes to the type of food that you should eat. On empty stomach, if you've not taken anything on a long fast, you are not supposed to take acidic fruits.
Okay.
You are supposed to take the alkaline and the one that will help the lining of the stomach.
Okay, all right. So I can see that our time is fast spent. So it's time for you to give us that WhatsApp, number for people to join the group and then be educated around hypertension. So our caller from Nkransa, please, if you're still watching, you need this number as well as every other person who is watching. She's going to give out that number. You join the WhatsApp group and then get the chance to be trained on how to use your BP machine. And they will also help you with getting your BP every day, and you also get to film yourself to be able to let them know that you've understood how to use your BP machine. Whatever it is you're going through right now, we want to say that just take it easy and calmly. We are just there to hear you out. You can continue to send your messages to the number on the screen, and we will get the reliable people to talk to you. It's been an interesting show, and we want to say thank you very much for watching. The repeat broadcast of this show is on Saturday at 12 noon, and next week at 4 p.m. we are going to be having another exciting topic. So I'm going to be making my presentation now. Could you guys please come and help me? Help me to do the presentation while you give us the WhatsApp number, please.
Okay, the WhatsApp number is 059 200 1705. And I repeat, 059 200 1705.
Let's do it just one more time, okay?
059 200 1705.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. So please, let's make the presentation now and call it a day. It's been wonderful. Anyway, I think we just have to make the presentation at the exit point, okay?
Right.
But I want to say thank you very much for gracing our
too.
occasion. If you have any last words for our viewers, please go ahead and tell them now.
All right. Since it's a woman program, I will entreat every mother to be using spices that are less in MSG, and also to be taking good care of the children and also our husbands.
You mentioned MSG. What's the meaning of the MSG, please?
They are chemicals that contain salts, and it
okay.
affects our health.
Okay, all right.
It's usually found in most of the artificial spices.
Oh, how time flies. Okay, see you all same time next week. Bye-bye.